Hello everybody, happy Friday. I'm so glad it's the weekend and I'm just so happy to make a video on pretty much one of my favorite genus of plants, the Syngonium. I know I've already made one kind of back in the beginning of my channel before I actually left Texas, I believe, on just some of the Syngoniums that I had there. It was actually only just one type that I propagated so many times over the years. So I'm so excited to finally be here in Florida where I have just added to the collection and gotten some nice gifts. Some are my roommate slash friend's boyfriend, and it's just super exciting to be able to just show you guys the different ways that they're growing, some of the stories behind them, some of the cool variegations and colorations and the different varieties that you can get. And Syngoniums are such a cool, versatile plant to me, because you can have them just in a cute little pot like this. You can have them, growing up a tree, up in the wild. You can have them in the ground, inside, outside. You can have them growing straight in water. You can have them growing in soil. So without further ado, let me at least start talking about some of the varieties that I have here. I guess I will start first and foremost. This is my kind of low-key, most favorite kind of type, just the humble Syngonium. I'm not exactly sure what kind of variety this is. You might be able to tell me, some of you more Syngonium experts who kind of know the species and everything, or the different varieties. This one I'm super excited to have just gotten and potted up this past week. Kind of more like, I guess, it was kind of more as a gift. My mom came to visit, which was super lovely, and she was able to see this plot, which was actually the pot she gave me my first plant in so many years ago back in college, and it was actually a Syngonium. So it's so nice to have this pot kind of go back to its origins and now have a Syngonium in it. Kind of planted a little bit more properly, I guess I should say, now that I have more experience behind it. This thing taught me a lot of plant tea lessons in college, so I'm so glad to be able to show it much more love. You can see it's planted up so nicely with this sphagnum moss pole that it's growing up so lovely against already. Just a few days ago, or earlier in the week when it was potted up, it was actually kind of leaning over a little bit slightly, kind of a little bit just stressed from the repotting and everything, and you can see it's already just so happy, so vertical, so just climbing up and just resilient. It's quite the resilient plant. You can see it's kind of coated a little bit with some sphagnum moss, and it's been planted up with what we like to call quote unquote jungle mix of orchid bark, maybe a little bit of perlite, I believe, and some of the sphagnum moss. And so the orchid bark really helps just keep the soil less compact, a little bit more aeration, kind of on a thicker level. And the perlite kind of helps with that too, just keeping the soil from compacting, and helps aeration of the roots and everything. Whereas the moss, once you kind of wet it a little bit beforehand, make sure it's slightly moist before you plant it, because otherwise it is kind of hard to moisten while it's in the soil, because I don't know, it just kind of wicks away a little bit. So once you pre-moisten it and mix it up, it's really good at retaining water. So we kind of have it a little bit on top as a dressing, since Syngoniums love to have aerial roots. Not quite really many to show you quite yet. You can kind of see, I'm not sure it's going to be able to be picked up on camera, but you can kind of see right there that there is one growing right along from this node that's taped here. Or it's velcroed, I suppose, I shouldn't say taped. Anyways, moving along. Just one last note, I'm so happy to have this. It's really the one that started it all. I'm going to put this back here. So that's kind of something old that I want to show y'all, recycled, repurposed, let's say, reinvigorated for my new space that I'm in. This is my most recent addition to the collection that you can see is potted up in just this little nursery container. I will be forthcoming as always. I got it for just $18.98, which I think is a pretty good price here at one of my local nurseries that I like to support. I made a nice day out of it and was able to find something kind of new. I know it's something still similar that I know how to take care of. I really try to go and find something new, but it's hard for me to find something that I don't have some relative experience with and that I want to have in my collection. So I went ahead and got the Syngonium Ice Frost. I don't even think I said the name yet. So yeah, the Syngonium Ice Frost. You can kind of see it does look a little bit icy in some of its coloration and everything. It kind of looks like it's got just like a little bit of icy dewiness on it, and it's got nice chunky kind of nodes to it compared to some like more regular Syngoniums. So I'm so excited to see how it grows, so excited to see if, like, you know, these aerial roots get nice and aerial rooty, as you can see there. So hopefully maybe give it a nice pole to climb, such as this one, or this is actually kind of a nice time for me to go ahead and transition to like another type of pole that I've been utilizing with my Syngoniums to try to give them something to climb so that they can mature. In all my years of Syngonium, it's lovely having them in a pot, but Syngoniums really, really do want to be like climbing up something, having aerial roots and things, not just having roots in a pot. They want to like root up something. So it's been really nice to be able to incorporate this bamboo palm stalk that I have from a quote-unquote bamboo palm that I have. I think the more like specific name is a chamaeria palm. I don't know how to say it, but you can Google like bamboo palm and it'll probably come up. It's the one that starts with CH, chamaeria palm or something. But once it gets nice and big, it kind of has stalks like this that we were able to cut, because unfortunately some of them didn't make that last weird frost that we had here in South Florida that we don't usually get. But it's pretty cool because you can start to see, if I can bring it up, it's right here. So I want to be able to kind of show y'all that there is aerial roots that are starting to go right there. I think you can see it on camera. Yep. So that's really nice. It's already starting to root into this more natural structure. I'm still going to bring it up so that you can see it a little bit more. But I think it's really cool. And you can also see the coloration in like the leaves and everything. I want to say this is perhaps a white butterfly, but y'all have to tell me again, because this is one of the ones, like the more kind of plain Jane ones, I'm not really the best at identifying, so sorry, forgive me. I do kind of really more gravitate towards, as far as removing the names or caring about the names, the like pink ones, because I feel like those are a little bit easier to identify. But you can see this is kind of what it starts to look what it looks like as they mature. These leaves kind of become, like, instead of being like one whole like arrowhead leaf, it actually kind of starts to like become like a little 3-leaved thing, and even I've seen one with 5 leaves. So that's another arrowhead I have in the collection. I just wanted to show y'all, since this one's starting to really kind of climb up. This one's like a really good example of being able to see the roots starting to go ahead and climb up onto things and support itself and really allow it, the leaves to start coming out into its more mature form. So I'm so excited to be able to see how this hopefully continues to grow up, this relatively skinny structure that has been supporting it. On to the next one. We have, I guess we'll go with the confetti, the Syngonium Pink Confetti that I have. It is absolutely wonderful. This is the first one that I had gotten, I believe, on a moss pole, and just really was able to see the benefits for it. It was really such a small plant. Beforehand, I had it for months before I was assisted in having it repotted in this kind of pot with this moss pole. It has that jungle mix again with like the orchid bark and at least the moss and everything. So it's really, really loving it. As you can see, this has the kind of just like pink splashes, you know, little confetti of pink to it. It's absolutely wonderful. It has been, it's starting to lean onto the pole, so hopefully the next node that starts to grow out as this starts to climb up is going to go ahead and latch on to the pole and really start taking off. So I'm super excited. I mean, just look at this leaf coming out. Super cool. So that was the confetti, the pink confetti. This is going to be the pink splash. That was also a recent purchase, just I think a few weeks or so before this one. before the ice frost. So it's absolutely wonderful to have in the collection as well. This is a new leaf that's already coming in so nice, a little bit more mature than the other ones. Been giving it a little bit brighter light than what the nursery was giving it, still filtered, but a little bit brighter. The shade cloth that they had on the greenhouse that this was in was a little bit heavier than the Lanai common pool screen that it's in right now. So it's been a nice transition to stepping this up to like a little bit sunnier of a location, and so that kind of really helps you be able to see that giving it a little bit more sun to a variegated like variety of plant usually really helps bring out the variegation and the just color and everything, and of course as it matures too, so it's not just the sun. It's nice to have it mature as well. So lovely, lovely, lovely. Can't wait to hopefully pop this up soon. The roots just haven't really been screaming for it to be repotted quite yet, so that's why it's still, these two are still kind of getting acclimated into just the area and everything. I suppose last but not least, gonna have the one that's been chilling with me kind of on the ground. I'm just gonna have it here on my lap for you, try to give you the best angle. It's kind of a little bit nicer to see it from a little bit more top down. So this one is the Neon Robusta or something like that. I apologize, something like that, but it's absolutely wonderful. You can see just how striking and like pinky, almost reddish the leaves are. I think on camera it's picking up just a little bit more red, but it's rather nice and pink, almost, I don't know what kind of pink tone to help describe it, but it's absolutely wonderful. We've got it climbing up a moss pole as well. I can't really recall if I've seen this one putting roots into the moss pool too deeply quite yet. I feel like some of the pink ones that we've noticed in our experience definitely grow slower, and just it's really best to try to give them the most optimal conditions as possible so they can take off. The green ones just really take off a lot quicker, so we try to baby these. Unfortunately, has been something kind of gnawing on it, as you can see on some of the leaves. I can never find what it is in here. I come early in the morning, I'll check on it late at night, who knows what it is, maybe it's just a moth or something, but I never find any caterpillars or anything. This is technically like 4 little clusters of plants. There's like 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the pot. So that's why it like looks so full. So hopefully it continues to grow and grow in some nice and really full, to be able to propagate it and share the joy and everything with friends, etc. So I hope everyone's having a really lovely weekend. Just wanted to come on and show y'all and just talk to y'all about some of these really cool plants that I've acquired. Show y'all the beginning stages, since this is just the beginning. Hopefully over the next year or 2, or who knows, I'll be able to show you how wonderful they get, how they mature, how they vine, or what they do, kind of their growing habits, because I know different syngoniums have different growing habits. So thanks for watching. Again, I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.